ChatGPT-5 is finally here, so I thought I would see how much I could push it with a bunch of real-world design and marketing tasks. We're going to start with something fairly straightforward and then ramp up the difficulty until we get to more complex stuff and even some coding and some agent mode stuff. These are things that I've actually worked on for real clients, and they're the kinds of jobs that in-house design teams, marketers, and small businesses might actually have use for. So I'm running everything live, no safety net. Let's see what happens. Okay, we're not going to start too easily. We're going to challenge it a little bit to begin with. I work for a hotel, advising them about how to use AI for their marketing and design. I've said, using the attached editorial and photography guidelines, create a new bilingual Thai and English social media campaign concept for the hotel, including one tagline and justify your choice. Research relevant hashtags, then create a square image that we could post on Instagram that includes the tagline. So I've uploaded the editorial guidelines and the general photography guidelines. Let's see how it goes. The campaign concept is celebrate the hotel as a stage for connection where guests are seen, welcomed, and remembered. Tagline, where you belong. Suggested hashtags, great. Instagram square image mockup. And overlay text, where you belong, in English and in Thai. Okay, great. So it didn't create the image in one go. I didn't really expect it to, so let's just tell it to. Okay, go ahead and generate that image. I like to just speak to ChatGPT rather than type. It's just faster and it lets me roll with thoughts off the top of my head. I don't need to be super structured. I just say what's in my mind. I've prepared these prompts before the video because I thought I wanted to think out some like really interesting use cases, especially for design and marketing. Now, obviously, the image generator model is still the same as it was before. It's still using the same GPT image 1 as the technical name for the image model that's under the hood and has been there since 6 months ago when they first released that gray model that shook the world and everybody started making Ghibli style images. So yeah, it didn't go ahead and generate the image following the same prompt. It just gave me some general image guidelines, and I had to add an extra step and say, okay, generate that image. But what we can judge now is how on brand we think this image is going to be. I know you don't know that because you don't know the hotel, but I'll let you know. Oh, that's fantastic. That's great. Did I upload the logo? No, okay. I forgot to upload the logo. It's got the typography absolutely perfect. The logo is wrong, but if I had given it the logo, it would have done just fine. Okay, for the next test, we're going to make it a little bit more challenging. I'm working with a company and helping them do some rebranding. So I've said, attached are the current designs for a company called Blue Horizon, and we want to redesign the branding. Also attached is a mood board and logo concept that we like. Write a full style guide describing the updated branding. After that, let's redesign the website, and I've given it the website link. First, let's get it to write the style guide and see that it captures everything that a graphic designer needs. So just for reference, this is their current branding. This is their logo. This is their LinkedIn banner. I think it's a little bit dark. I'm not a big fan of some of the way that they've used the colors. This is the YouTube banner, which I think looks like a totally different company. They've also given us a credentials package as well, which is basically some slides designed like this. So let's go back to ChatGPT and have a look. The brand style guide. Okay, we've got the brand essence, logo and variations. We've got the color palette, which is the new color palette. The typography, they've suggested a general font. Iconography, image style, brand voice, applications. That's a good basic style guide. We could flesh this out. the next step is going to be redesign the website. So it's had a look at the website and it's come up with a plan. So let's now go over to canvas mode and get it to code that website. I'll talk to it again. Totally redesign the website. Don't just keep the sections that they have currently on the website. Add any other sections you think will help make their website generally more compelling and attractive to their target audience using the new branding. So we'll just click go and hopefully this should start coding it. So in this case, it's changed to thinking longer for a better answer. So there are two modes in ChatGPT-5. There's normal, and then if you go to other models, there's ChatGPT-5 thinking. Now it started writing the code. So now we've just got to wait a little bit and we will see how the website turns out. This is called one-shotting. That just means it's going to try and do all of this in one go. Normally for coding tasks, people like to break it down into sections and have like a roadmap and like a plan for how to code a website or an app. But we're just asking it in this case to code the entire thing in one go. Let's see how it does. I'll come back to you when it's done coding. Okay, here's the moment of truth. One point that I want to make is that I did try coding something very briefly before using the desktop app. And one thing the desktop app does not have is this button up here that says run code. So we'll click that here. When you're using the website version, you can actually get a preview of anything that it codes. So it's got a new version of the logo. It's got the colors right. Different sections, proven results. This is all straight from their documentation, by the way. So this is all accurate. Industries we help, engagement options. This is a fantastic start. This is not a beautiful website, but it is 10 times better than the basic kind of websites that ChatGPT and various other website coding tools were capable of before. The front end, the visual look and feel of it is so much better than the kind of crap that you got before. This is at least like really nicely laid out. It's super basic. It doesn't have any imagery. We haven't given it any visual assets, but it's set up the website. Let's see if the different pages actually work. Oh, this just scrolls to the different sections. I wonder what happens when you click book a call. Okay, that doesn't work. But for one shot, 9 out of 10. Fantastic. So just for reference, the old website looks like this. This was their current design. It's pretty clean. It's pretty basic as well. But you can see on the new version, there's so much more that's been added. It's really put the brand colors a lot more to work. I think it's still too dark, in my opinion. You just need to keep going and tell it the fixes that you want. I wonder, just out of interest, if we upload some random image, will it actually put that into the website? Let's try that as well. Okay, I found this random Google image that was for AI consultancy. I'm going to add this image into the hero section and see what it does. I don't know if it has a back end where it can actually save the image somewhere. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I had a couple of issues. After I added the image, it got stuck on initializing the environment twice. And now finally it's told me, okay, my bad. It was hanging because it had bad file imports. Let's give it one more chance and click run code again and see if it works. Maybe just adding that image kind of broke it, and that kind of task, it just, maybe it can't handle external files like that. You should really do this in something like Cursor or VS Code where you've got your entire code library. let's not forget that it did a great job at just making a really simple demo site. So just to test this out earlier, I wanted a really simple finance tracker app. It did this in one shot in about 2 minutes. It's got graphs, it's got everything. It's just got made up numbers in there at the moment, but that you can easily change. And if I say I spent $500 on bills and click add, we've got interactive graphs and it works beautifully. The UI is basic, but really clean and amazing for 2 minutes work. You could just think of what kind of app you might like to build. It's not that hard to take that file, save it, and then start working on it in another app. Or if you build it as a single standalone file like this, great for just really simple applications. Okay, for one final test, and this is a tough one. So a couple of weeks ago, they released ChatGPT agent mode, and everybody got very excited about it. But to be honest, it sucked. It just made so many mistakes. It failed half the time. I didn't find very many use cases. I was kind of surprised that they released such a shitty product. Anyway, let's see if now that it has GPT-5 under the hood, it can do a better job. So what I am going to ask it to do is for another client of mine who is a financial consultant. He's running some Facebook ads and he wants to try out some different images and like A/B test his ads, like, find out which picture works better in terms of people clicking on his ads versus another. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT to create 10 new images for his Facebook ads. I've said using the attached brand documents, which explain who he is and what he does, and the logo we designed for him earlier, let's create 10 visually consistent but diverse Facebook ad images in 2x3. 2x3, that means like landscape, right? And then package them into a zip file. And we're going to let Agent do its thing. Now, I would expect this to take about 20 minutes, but let's try it out. He does, I think, want to add some text, so I'm just going to add that as well. Okay, so I've just added the text. I've written, in half of the images, include the text, need a plan to maintain your expat lifestyle and visa in retirement in a serif font. Include the logo on all images. Now, the reason I've said include it on half the images is because maybe we want to manually add the text in Photoshop later on. But let's give it a chance to see if it does a good job at adding that text by itself, just like it did for the hotel before. So let's spin up Agent and let it go. So Agent does take quite a lot of time to work, but if you haven't seen it before, it's kind of amazing to see how it works. Even if it does fail half the time before, it's pretty awesome, at least in theory. The way that it works is it opens up a browser within ChatGPT. So it's its own browser. So it's not taking control of your computer. It's running a virtual environment where it loads everything up and browses through various sites, stops and thinks and changes its strategy. And it's like clicking through the sites. You'll see it in action shortly. Here we go. So it's opening up the PDF to extract the brand guidelines, and you can see its system of thought happening right next to the cursor. Here we go. We've opened up a new tab. It's reading the PDF more. It's doing a bunch of codey, Python-y stuff. So in this case, I should have mentioned, you're not actually going to see it open a bunch of tabs on the internet. You're not going to see it going into Google and going through various websites to do research like you do for a lot of tasks for Operator. In this case, we've just asked it to generate some images. It's just doing it all in the back end. In this particular virtual environment, it's just doing all code. It's going to start calling the OpenAI image model to start generating those images. It will save them somewhere, hopefully, and then eventually give us a file to download. So this could take a while. It might take 20 minutes. It might take 40 minutes. I don't know. I'm just going to let it run for now, and I'll come back to you with the results. Okay, it's finished making its images. I've got to be honest with you. I do not have high hopes here because so far in my experience, ChatGPT agent has sucked. But let's download this file and open it up. Okay, it hasn't. I think my prompt sucked. I should have specified that I wanted photography in there. His current ads look a little something like this. This is kind of what I was hoping for. That is not what we got, but it did successfully give us 10 images. The images were consistent. They used the logo correctly. They used the same colors. They used the text that we asked for in half of the images. And they used his tagline as well. So, yeah, my prompt sucked, but it did work. Obviously, I just need to prompt it better. But it's great to see Agent actually doing some work. So I'm going to try and do it with my own quietly smart robot and see what I get out of that. Okay, so I ran it for my quietly smart robot and asked it to generate 20 images. It's done a pretty amazing job. Look at all of these. The proportions are correct. It's added a little bit too much of the claymation or the clay kind of texture to it. But in general, I mean, it's fantastic. So, hey, we found a use for Agent that actually works. All right, so that's ChatGPT-5 on everything from quick creative prompts to building full-blown web apps and running image campaigns in agent mode. Some hits, some misses, but the point is it can already take on a lot of the work for designers and marketers if you give it the right inputs. If you've got a task that you want me to try in the next round, drop it in the comments and we'll see if we can break it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.